Up. Got these two great friends. Gosh, if I had a job, if I had a business, hire you guys in a second.
I mean, if it was a local business or friend-owned business, yeah, I would definitely go for that because also people I know
Yeah.
helps me keep
Yeah.
in a comfort zone where I can work effectively.
And like, now I'm hoping eventually there becomes a place where someone sees your value and is willing to take that risk. You know, like, of course this person is like generally, like, I know, like, I am live streaming, I can mute it if you want me to, since we're talking a little bit personal things. Let me know if you need me to mute it. But like, when you're in an uncomfortable situation, usually it's a new space, you do stammer.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, like,
I also don't. What I mean is, like, I don't know how to help people with, you know, basic explaining things. Is something I'm not good at, and that's something you need to be good at with.
That's true. Customer service, you do. But I think, actually, you know, you don't give yourself enough credit. I really think, you know, given, like, just, and that's the thing, is, like, given enough time. Like, once you're just in a comfortable space, like, you truly...
Given enough time is my issue. I need a working experience.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is like, is places willing to give you enough time. And the reality is, with our, you know, like, sadly, we're very microwave in our decisions in the United States. Instead of pushing through the awkwardness just to see, like, this person is of character, they have a great ethic, they have a great work ethic, like, instead of pushing past that, like, we, in the United States especially, want immediate results. And immediate result society, like, it's going to be, it will be rough at first until, like, you get in your comfort zone. And I know, like, I'm trying to actually bring you up. I don't know how good I'm doing, but I love you, man. I will, like I said, I will totally hire you in a second if I had that power.
I believe that.
As it shows, I'm always trying to, like, trying to steal you into my schemes. What's up, Logan? You decided to join us, or you just here to hang out?
Oh, dude, I don't want to do it yet. How many times do I have to type? No,
Man, your voice is so low. I have you at 200%.
His is always low. I think he has his microphone set to nothing.
You have a Yeti, right?
At the time.
Yeah.
You know, there's like a control on the back of those Yetis, is like a little knob to, like, bring up the volume a little bit.
No, there's not.
Oh, there's not on yours? There was on my old one.
This is the blue snowball.
Oh, I didn't have a snowball.
I might have turned it down. I think I might have.
It might just also be Windows.
Let me check.
It's probably Windows.
Oh yeah, turn my mic down.
Oh. Yes.
That's better?
I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could bring down the 200% I had you on Discord. Yes.
I turned it down a little bit because I think I'm too loud. And
You were way too quiet for the last, like, week or so.
no, I can't hear you guys.
It was, like,
Playing a loud
legitimately, I think it was yesterday, like, I, no joke, could not hear you.
Then why don't you say something?
We said it.
Yeah, but you were like nonchalant about it.
At the very beginning, we pretty much did a lot of what, and at that point, we just got saying it so many times, we just moved on.
Hello.
Where are you playing right now?
Oh, it's this demo game. It's kind of like a Enter the Gungeon,
Hmm.
but with animals.
Greeting. Hey,
And you're an
right.
axolotl.
See you later.
Can you repeat the last part?
You're an axolotl,
I don't know what an axolotl is.
the weird-looking
Yes.
fish animal.
What do
Oh.
you want?
Aquatic mammal.
Yeah.
May fear guide you.
Okay.
I would say you'd see them in Minecraft, but you don't play Minecraft.
Yeah. Are they called ocelots?
Ocelots?
No, that's a different thing. That's
Oh,
a
the-
cat.
That's the cat thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to real life mammals, animals.
So heads up, Houston, while we run. The lasagna will be done in, so in 6 minutes, I have to take off the
All right,
film.
because I'm still typing up emails and stuff, anyways.
Oh, okay. I'm saying 6 minutes. I have to take off the film, put it in for 5 minutes, and I'll
A
be
lake drained.
Okay.
A million creatures
taking it
lost.
out.
As I'm done typing,
So
I'll
sad
be
to keep its
ready
produce
to
flowing.
actually start.
Okay. I guess I get a look at the vendors here. Hello, vendors.
Oh, darn it.
What is it, Exile?
I don't like this demo game because it shoots you to the very beginning when you close it.
Oh, there's like no saves. It's just.
I don't think so, unless there's a save button. But I don't think so. It would be dumb. There was just a save button.
What do you...
Oh my gosh. Kind of like a
Very good.
RoboQuest music,
You've done yourself proud
Ooh.
today, Exile.
You play a
but
lot
more
of.
rocky.
What do you
I
need
love
now?
RoboQuest.
You will be remembered. What do you need now?
It's gonna come out of the... It's gonna be released as a full game soon.
Is it?
Yeah, sometime this year.
Ooh.
I'm watching you.
I forget what everything they're adding, but it looks cool.
I'm excited. Because it's like one game that I've reserved just to play with you.
Yeah,
And so
we should get back to it.
that'd be cool.
Maybe this Friday or something. Ooh,
Yeah.
I got it now.
Thanks, Dad.
Alright. What should I do while I wait for Houston? What should I do while I wait for Houston? What should I do if I wait for Houston? Early in the morning, way up, be right. Way up.
Time to make a ship. Huh. You're gonna make some of your own of sea shanties.
Yeah. I'll just go backwards and kill things.
I'm trying to think of a different word for attractability.
Oh, come.
I am like
lucrative?
really surprised how good my character's build is going.
I wish I could feel the same about my high level one, but that's probably because I'm probably taking it too slow.
Hmm.
6, 7, there's my what's a different word for like tractability, like how people like see your job experience and stuff and then want to choose you. What's a different word? It's like I've used it before, but I can't think of it.
Instead of attractability, you're saying?
Like how nice a resume or something looks compared to another one, like suitability, something similar to that. But like lucrative. No.
Hmm.
There's actual lingo that people use, but it's
Hmm.
so like for example, like I'm trying to think of the word like like this looks better, so you're more likely to be chosen, sort of thing.
Hmm.
Do you have any idea what I'm trying to think of?
Hmm. I can mute the stream. I think I'll need to see your email to know what you're trying to communicate. So I can hit BRB, can mute the stream if you want to, like, if you don't mind me just taking a look and seeing what you're trying to say.
I figured it out.
I figure it out. Okay.
I went to a thesaurus.
There you go.
Desirability. There we go.
Higher ability. Oh, yep.
Dude. Imminent death.
My mana is gone.
Oh, that's my alarm.
The Sadhana.
Be right back, friends. Set for 5 minutes.
Dang it. I freaking suck at dude.
How much Robin level is Anya? I legitimately Love lasagna.
Same.
It's like one of my favorite foods.
Has she had it ever since she learned she wasn't actually allergic to gluten?
That's true.
Oh man.
Because that's like a big mindset thing too.
Yeah. I don't even think she cared for it even before she was thought she was allergic to gluten. I mean, like,
What type of lasagna has she had?
I don't know. It's a good
Because
question.
there's vegetarian type.
The vegetarian lasagna is actually really good.
Yeah, you could try that too. Like,
Well, it's like
even if she isn't vegetarian, it's like different enough. It's not too meaty
Yeah.
because that's like what my mom doesn't like about it sometimes is that it's like too much.
Well, it's
So like having it a bit like the vegetarian flavoring would be like less rich, so it
Yeah.
might be more palatable.
well, it's like vegetarian lasagna. Generally, it's like some sort of Alfredo.
Yeah.
And that is just good. Alfredo lasagna, man. I'm also just a big fan of Alfredo. Actually, I feel like even though like having a Quicksilver flask is nice, when it gets plus
Well, you
15
have the onslaught.
plus 1500 to evasion, since I already move fast, like I'm a zoomer now.
He's a child. Watch out.
Like now I just have that evasion. Oh wow, Quicksilver flask is worth a lot.
I recommend keeping hold of it,
Yeah.
even if you don't use it, because they're really nice very early and throughout the entirety of the game.
Let's get down to business.
What is it, Exile?
You're the saddest wrench I've ever met.
Okay, I probably or
May
mansplained
fear
that, but
guide you.
yeah. Ready when you are.
Yes.
Okay, I'm in town, so
How's your lasagna?
don't know yet. It's in 5 minutes, so it's you put in for 8 minutes. Take the film off, put in for 5 minutes. Then I'll take
Alright.
it out, and then I just
May
wait forever
fear
for it to
guide
cool
you.
down, so it doesn't kill my mouth.
So what is your current quest?
So it is the Eternal Nightmare. Della wants you to destroy the beast slumbering within the mines. However, the interest has been long sealed by Sekira. Find a way to break the seal. And breaking the seal. So I guess I gotta go to now to the dry lake, which is my guess about where to go next.
All right.
Just waiting for you right here.
Oh, just go right ahead.
Okay.
Oh, like the teleport is better, faster than me walking that little bit. Because you can't use your speed in the city. We are nearing the part where we gain more mechanics to the game, so... Oh
Right-
boy.
Oh. 1 second. That's the 5. I need to take the lasagna out now.
you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
Katana.
All right, now I just wait a million years for those Oni cool off.
All right.
Ding.
You want to know how much of mana I have? I think I mentioned it before. 22.
Oof.
You want to know how much I am supposed to have?
What?
330.
You're
I
really,
have like less than 90% of my mana.
you're rocking all the heralds.
Actually, I'm curious. What percentage is that?
All right. Okay.
Times 100. That is 6.5% of my mana is unreserved. 6%.
That's funny. You know, it's crazy. Because I'm so used to this WASD that it's hard to like...
Oh, because you swapped the buttons around?
No, I haven't swapped any buttons here. It's just most of all the abilities are QW, you know.
You need to go back into your league mindset.
Yeah, as like I was saying, it's like back in the league days, that's how my fingers were trained, was QWER. And then for a while I like changed, like retrained it.
Or you can use a controller. If you want to do that.
I'm good.
Yes, I beat the boss. Give me them bones.
Bones you want,
Interesting.
see?
Oh. Like golden bones, I don't know.
Golden bones?
1 second, I gotta look at my path of building.
What beast in the field holds the golden bone?
All right. That's level 90. We're at 41. Okay. Go down here. Some extra life. All right. Oh, already got that one.
Deep. It's a chunky ball.
All right. Got that. Playing where to go next.
Also, I noticed something very helpful but let me pull up your stream so that way I can explain it better.
Oh, was I a silly goose? Wait, what? I feel like
So
I did-
you
So yeah. So at 41, they want me to go a different path?
don't worry about it for now because it's like it's literally the same thing, just like different, like immediately difference. It's going for the attack speed instead of the damage.
I was just legit.
But don't worry about it. Because it'll take some extra points to do anyways. So on Path of Building, I noticed something.
Hmm.
So click where it says like level 41.
Yeah.
and click the 28, and then click compare, and then click 41.
Oh.
So it highlights in green the differences,
Hmm.
which helps a lot, I think,
Yeah.
with visualizing it.
I feel like I don't think I have this. Where is that?
I'm
Oh,
surprised
I
you
do.
don't have the building like on a second or third monitor, because I know you have like 4 of them.
That's true, but that's where like my communication thing goes. But that's a good call. I'll bring it over there. Oh,
I can go
it's
underneath
like really bad on this monitor.
What looks bad on it?
It looks
Everything?
so bad. It looks so bad. Oh my gosh. It's just the color. It's like you just gotta be here to see it.
It sounds like you need to color calibrate your monitor, sir.
This probably needs to be. It's like the cheapo TVs.
Definitely sounds like it needs a color calibration to make it usable.
I truly. Okay. I'm looking at this. And besides like going down the bottom row instead of the top row, I legitimately have everything at 41. So
I mean, we are at level 41, so that sounds about right.
Oh, okay.
So maybe swap them down one more.
Actually, I'll just go on the next thing. Which is
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, we compare 41 to the next one, so that way you
Yeah.
see it easier.
There we go. All right, I'll get whatever this is. Getting life per hit. Okay, cool beans.
When we have like 3
Are we
spare
seriously-
passive points, then we can swap them
Warm
around.
Are we seriously 41 already?
Yep.
That's crazy. That's just crazy talk.
Buy it with a different character.
Don't mind me, you have a big distraction on your screen. The form of me. Excuse me, sir. I'm just gonna stand here. Can you stop attacking? That's rude. You're not gonna win anyways.
This land won't miss your kind, Vol.
Gonna pop a donut.
The benefit of being playing a face tank is you get to make stupid remarks about not dodging mechanics. I will say there is some parts that I kind of like the music in this game, but it's a lot, like on unique
That would only
like
slow me
locations
down.
and stuff, sort of thing. It's a lot of environmentalist sounds and music.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Just like the humming in the background, sort of thing,
Mm-hmm.
or the screams of the dam, like in the place we were at earlier, but you probably didn't hear it.
Mm.
I'll let you know there was a lot of screams.
Oh, I was spot on.
What do you want?
Okay, what do you look for when you're looking at shields?
Right now, I'm mostly looking for life
This
and sockets.
flat life. And what color sockets?
2 red, 1 green, because it's
Okay.
what I have my mobility skills in.
May
Okay.
fear guide you.
Now I know.
Like I'd be willing to not have one with all the sockets,
Oh.
What do
but
you
it
know?
is very difficult because it's would also require me to shuffle around like my gloves and stuff.
Okay, 21 strength and intellect, 16. Okay, 1 to 23 lightning damage. 23 mana. I do like the mana per kill. Sorry, you're a beautiful amulet, but you're not giving mana per kill, which it just makes life a little easier. Okay, oh, you're in town. I'm guessing you took my waypoint.
Yes, because we had to come here anyways.
Oh yeah, we do.
I thought you were being big brain, being like coming back.
I,
I thought that was intentional, and I'm gonna continue thinking that, even though you
See that?
acted like it wasn't.
One moment, big blades. Next moment, gone. Should be able to go in there now. Heard this place reeked of voltaxic sulfite back in the day. I was planning on having a wander down there, only I think I can hear things shuffling around down there. And I'm more of a lover than a fighter. Actually, if you're headed in there, maybe you could do us a favor. See, I run a little mining operation of my own. Mining's dangerous at the best of times, but it's suicidal without a proper source of light. I've got lights, just ain't got no power. Run on voltaxic sulfide, they do. Nasty rocks. Stink like a dozen eggs rotting in the summer sun on the back of a whale carcass. And they're less stable than the high temper on a bad day. Bloody toxic too. Keep your nostrils peeled for some voltaxic sulfite while you're down there. Or anywhere, really. Stay in the light, Exile.
to the mines.
That's no natural earthquake.
I am also looking for better gloves, so
Okay.
have you clicked to this?
Oh no.
This'll do nicely, Exile. Greetings. Greetings.
Oh. I hit visit mine.
It is a little bit of a different thing. You don't have enough, I believe, at this point. But there is an exit right there. The like top left where it says the mine's level 1.
Okay.
That's a return.
Okay.
There's 2 more of those spots we have to collect
Okay.
on here. You can see the like where the quest log is. It is the orange quest.
Okay.
Is it orange to you?
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to ask
Nico
if my
Master
eyes
the
are
Depth.
bad or something. Sorry, what?
Nico Master of the Depth.
Yeah. I was about to be like,
This'll do nicely,
maybe it
Exile.
isn't orange, or it's maybe red or something.
That would only slow me down.
The wild leather. Ah.
Another good find. Ah, this is the stuff. Good nose, Exile. You find more and I'll come right over. Don't touch it though. Stuff will send you mad without the right precautions. You think I want to be dressed like this?
Yeah.
Tell you what, how about we take a look around my mine? Talk to me when you're ready to go. Goodbye.
Me and I'm just watching your Twitch stream to make sure that we see the same thing.
Greetings.
Can I sell to him here?
Looks like shite.
You
eh?
can sell to him here.
Well,
Okay, cool.
don't judge a mine by its entrance. Eternals used to pull all sorts of goodies out of these rocks, and they never had my
1 second, I'm
secret
gonna
weapon.
swap my headset to USB mode.
Just inside the
Alright.
mine shaft is my creaky little crawler. Took one of the old Eternal torture devices and repurposed it. Oh, it can still tear your skin off like peeling a fruit, but hopefully it won't try to. Instead, it can lay down a daisy chain of lights powered by that voltaxic sulfite. You'll want to be on the lookout for more of that, mind you.
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
This big
Yeah.
beauty
Okay.
next to me, my pride and joy. Feeds crawler with refined and purified sulfite, and it's
How are these
capable of
people?
taking all sorts of the raw materials.
Okay, I just
strewn
swapped it
below
to USB
ground
mode because it was
and
like doing
turning
some
them
cutting
into
in and out
sources of light
stuff, so I'm guessing
and
things are going on.
explosives. How about you head underground and follow the mechanical little bugger to an azurite vein, eh?
Alright. Let's go into Nazareth Mine. I'll wait for you.
This is Crawler, capable of scouting
Sorry,
out
what?
a few of the
I'm
valuables
down in the
hidden
mine.
down here. But needs
1 second,
your
you
muscle to get to 'em.
got quieter, so I
Tell it where you
need to
wanna
double
go,
check my Discord
and
and
try
that
to
stuff.
stay alive
Yeah,
till you
nothing
get
on my
there.
end has changed.
Crawler will burn through
Okay,
sulfite
yeah,
on the way,
Discord decided
and
to
we
do
ain't
that
made of sulfite,
automatic
so
making
choose
things
carefully.
quieter thing.
How about you follow it to a nearby
Darn you,
azurite
Windows.
vein, eh? Make sure you stick near Crawler's light. Believe me,
I am here.
you don't want to get dragged into the darkness.
Alright, after this, I want to eat. So let's crawl it. It's going.
Don't be in the darkness. I would just say that. It is spooky.
My mana is gone.
I need to be over here so that I don't touch your stuff. Okay, you picked up all that. Right, good. And you go back by clicking where it says revisit. On the top left where it says return to the mines or visit mine encampment.
Yeah, I want to quickly check out this weapon so you won't be in the dark.
Oh no, it's fine. Like I just wanted to make sure that if you wanted to go back or something.
That would only slow me down.
So my inventory's full. If you don't want to pick up things, cool, but I can't really pick up anything else.
I am in combat, sir.
Oh.
Thank you. They were fire resistant, which does not help me.
That would only slow me down.
Some of this thing, I'm like, why are you in my inventory? 7 to 95. 19% increased totem placement speed. Seablist has one maximum number of summon totems per 200. Oh. Oh wait, I don't have it.
Siege totem ballistas everywhere.
I don't have siege ballistas.
Isn't that the ballista support though? Or do you not have ballistas anymore?
I do have ballistas. They're shrapnel ballistas, not siege ballistas though.
Oh.
Which I'm guessing it's just a different.
Different variant, I guess.
Yeah.
May I request a favor, my friend?
Yeah.
Would you be willing to stream on Discord so that way there's less of a delay?
Yeah, dude.
Because this is a time where I feel like I must help. I must explain. Because I actually think I played the game when this came out, so maybe not. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Ooh, Sacred Life, 1200.
It is definitely higher. It is also more rapid, also. I'm collecting that superior.
So you collected everything you want?
Yeah. So this, like I said, the visit mine encampment is how you go back to the base level, and the button above that is how you go back to your previous location. So delve, as you can see, you see where it says monster level.
Mm-hmm.
So as you go deeper, the difficulty goes up, like the monsters go up. But also better loot, of course.
Yeah.
And this is like one of the alternate mechanics for like gathering power and like farming loot outside of just doing maps. You have to still do maps, but this is like another one. And there is unique items and unique things you can get here.
Beauty. Look at it sparkle. Glows like blue embers in the dark. My machine here can turn these rocks into something a little more useful. You might need some extra light down there, so how about you put a few flares together? Mine's also full of dead ends and things that ought to be dead themselves. So get a blasting stick while you're at it. Should have enough for both on ya.
This is also probably a good time for me to explain what the hideout system is, since you can invite him.
Bye.
Okay, so it wants us to make.
So sulfide is like the fuel to do this,
Mhm.
and the flares and dynamite are like things for like progress and existing outside of the outside of the range of the like little crawler.
Is there a stash? There it is. Do you want this? Just in the.
No, thank you. I am currently running one.
Okay, in the heat of it, I was just grabbing.
That's understandable.
Especially when it's moving. I'm like, not asking, just grabbing. Whenever I get siege totems, unless you want that bow, if I ever get siege totems, I'll give it a try.
Do you want siege totems?
Do you have siege totems?
I can buy them right now.
Sure, I'll give them a shot. Alright, I'm switching bows.
I probably missed about that. Ballista.
If I'm going to do this, then I need to add more stuff to this because this does not support.
Siege ballista. Summons a ballista totem that attacks with piercing arrows. Requires a bow.
Alright, give me something to add sockets. Alright, there's nothing.
That is a jeweler's orb. You need to sell items that have 6 links or 6 sockets on them, or get lucky. You have 7. Down 3.
This here? Oh.
That was 1, 2, 3. There you go. Welcome to RNG.
I know.
I think you're stuck with 3. Oh, there you go. 4. And you do have an orb of fusing, and you have no links, so might as well try.
Yep. Where's the orb?
To the right. Up 1. You might have to put your items on, not your bow.
Yeah. That'll do.
Oh, you got lucky. Still gonna have to swap them around though, because
Yeah.
socket colors.
Actually. Oh, here we go. And then I need a red. Aha.
There you go. You just brute forced your way into it.
Does restart.
And while you eat, I can explain some other stuff if you're willing.
Sounds good. Let me actually go get that food. This is a good possible state.
hot little pair of sticks you got. Mind you, don't get them mixed up. Don't want to have to mop
I
you
want to sell
up.
to you, but I'll listen to you
Though I
talk
suppose
first.
blowing yourself to bits is better than getting lost in
Robin's
the dark
gone.
down there. I suggest you bring a few sticks of dynamite and a few flares when you venture down there. Crawler will guide you to some large ore veins, but tossing a flare into the gloom might reveal some very pretty little treasures. Since the mine's been around for so long, all the easy pickings have already been pinched. Might have to do some excavating of your own if you want something truly precious. There's some fragile-looking walls down there. Reckon a well-placed stick of dynamite will turn those walls to rubble. Why don't you give that a go, eh? I'll let you keep whatever you find on the other side.
All right, let me quickly sell my bow. Then I am going to
Stay in the
go
light.
get some.
Everything all right?
Yeah, Robin will just be home in about, I'll say, an hour and a half to 2. But I'm gonna go eat some lasagna.
All right.
All right. I'm back. Explain away, friend.
So a big thing with the mining and delve is like this is a very much getting close to the point where we're gonna be doing stuff you'll need to do in your hideout, which is like a personalizable like base of operations sort of thing.
Okay.
And you can have like your stash and stuff in it, but that's also where you'll end up doing a lot of it crafting and the end game stuff.
Okay.
And I wanted to like explain that because it might be a little different, but it's also very important. Because like Nico there, like if he does anything special, like he'll sell some items, or you'll be able to access the mine outside of the waypoint through him and other people like him, like the beast thing.
Yeah.
That's how you'll talk with Einhar. Like outside of randomly. And that's how you'll check a lot of things. Is through the hideout system.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for explaining that. I'm never disappointed with lasagna, by the way.
Never.
I'm really like legitimately trying to think of a time where I've had lasagna and I would rather not eat lasagna than eat the lasagna. And right now I can't think of a moment of that. Even if like it's burnt lasagna. You eat around the burns and it's still good.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Just eat around it.
Like how burnt are we talking?
I mean, obviously not to a crisp.
Okay. Because the burnt edges that make things.
Yeah, it's like burnt pizza. Like you just eat around the burnt parts. Still good.
I like crispier lasagna.
I mean, I have had pizza where I'm like, I would rather not eat this right now. I've had cheeseburgers, where I'm like, I would rather not eat this right now. But I can't find a moment where I had that moment with lasagna.
Never say never.
I know.
Because I'm sick right now, I feel like throwing up.
Well, that's not fun.
Yeah. So, either I'm taking my headphones off. I'm just kidding. Maybe because I ate a like super juicy meal and like the acid in my stomach is like hearing my sickness in a way. Like I'm not sick as I was earlier. It might just be the nighttime phase.
I'm just surprised you're gaming. If I'm sick, I'm sleeping,
Good.
man.
I don't take naps, I told you.
Even if I'm not sleeping, I'm like laying down and like watching a show. Like, I have no energy when I'm sick to be sitting and playing.
I'll be honest. I like gain energy when I'm sick. Not in the first 2 days though.
Is it because you distract yourself away from whatever's making you sick? So you like normally you'd be restless or something.
Maybe. I just feel like because I'm so bored, I want to learn. Or I just get bored when I'm sick. Okay, in the Risk of Rain mod pack, there's a Samus skin for Void Fiend. It's actually pretty cool looking.
Have you tried out the what's it,
Aladdin.
the Templar mod or whatever? I forgot what the name it was.
Templar mod.
It was big one.
Hey, what's up?
Hello. I'll double check what it was called. What are you up to?
I'm about to mod my DSLR camera. I was just gonna chill and watch some Path of Exile.
What were you modding? I didn't hear that well.
Well, I don't know if it's DSLR or mirrorless. It's a Sony A6000.
Oh, you're modding your camera.
Yeah, camera.
Spicy. Yeah, it's called a Paladin mod, Logan.
Wait, what? Oh, the Paladin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that.
I just was double checking that I got the correct name.
Yeah, I have it downloaded. I just don't have the character. I've never tried. It says use the beads of fealty to become whole.
What's up, royalty?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Brent. I'm happy eating lasagna.
Okay. Can't get much better than that.
I know. Don't you always laugh when something says this has like enough servings for a family, like 7 servings?
Oh,
And the-
no.
Well, that's just because we're gluttonous.
And then you like just laugh mononically, just like as you eat the whole thing.
The worst part is when you eat the whole thing and you're like, oh, look, the calories aren't that bad, and then you see the serving size.
The secret is you don't look at the calories.
And it's like 20 servings, and you're like, oh, shit.
Dude,
Oh, crap.
it's like eating chips or like eating ice cream. Don't look at the calorie counts.
Yeah. What I try to do now is I just try to have, like, less. And to me, that's a win. Like, alright, I normally have this much. I'm going to try to do half. And then wait a minute and see how I feel.
That makes sense. I'm going ham crazy because Robin's not a lasagna person, and she's coming back tonight, but she wasn't home, so I got like a lasagna thrown in the oven. And I'm a happy clam right now. All right, Ustin, you ready for some more minings?
I will say the Azrai Mine stuff is a little bit jank
Drink.
with the multiplayer.
How's
That
that?
would only slow me down.
Like sometimes it just doesn't let me join you. Sometimes it does. And sometimes it just does weird things. And I think it's like something to do with instancing or something.
Hmm. You made the first mistake in leaving. You're never supposed to leave me, Houston.
Well, I left you to get you a gem.
Ah. Well, come back here.
I need you to go back to your hideout,
Okay.
or I cannot go there. You can go to your hideout through the waypoint.
Oh, that's funny. I got to hit that.
Hello, welcome to your own little home away from home.
My little hub where, man, this place would be so cool to live in.
You can also change it even.
You would not want to sleep here. Like,
Well, that's because you don't have any beds.
you have to like have like 20 layers even if you sleep here, even if you had a bed. Like, you have a bed. And
It's
open
underground,
air,
actually. It's probably a very,
moist.
it's probably quite warm. Moist and warm.
Well, you send me a trade request. Oh, is this the siege ballista? Ooh. All right, I'll take that siege ballista and have it replace my
Other ballista.
other ballista. Ooh, it has a fancy logo.
Try summoning them.
Oh. We'll see how it looks. Those look
How
fun.
many of them can you have?
Right now, I guess only 3. The more stats I get, the more I can have. Let me see here.
Press C. You don't even have 200 decks yet.
I mean, yep, that's funny. When I get more decks, that bonus will matter.
Also, you added physical damage to attacks every 25 dexterity.
Yeah. So literally, I just want to focus on decks with this bow.
It is the... I am the most dexterous of them all.
I have so much zooming that it makes me strong.
Now time to just replace that unique ring of yours. One that does more. More zoom.
So you seriously can't come here after you left?
See, now that you went back there, there's now a portal in your hideout that I'm able to walk through and go there.
Oh, nice. Let's finish.
Like I said, it's a little jank.
Yeah. Let's finish this out. As I eat my 5th helping of lasagna. So, Royalty, are you still
What's
there?
up? Yeah.
You said you're modding your camera?
Yeah, I am. The Sony A6000 is a pretty good camera for capturing still images. And it's okay for video, but it overheats.
Mm.
Like video was kind of like an afterthought by Sony, and so there's some things you can do to fix that.
Oh. That's cool.
Just strap a CPU heatsink to the side of it.
No, that's kind of what you're doing. I opened it up. You basically open it up and you put a
Are you gonna have an effectively an AIO sort of thing, so that way it puts all the heat away from you're actually handling it, and then you have like a cooling backpack or something?
No, you effectively open it up, and then once you get into it and you
Or
can
you're
get
going
down to
normal.
the chips, you can put a thermal pad on it. Kind of like
Yeah.
the thermal pad that you would see like on a NVMe drive on most motherboards. And just doing that plus a software hack is enough to stop it from overheating and turning off.
Oh, so it's literally they did not put a thermal pad where they should have.
Pretty much.
Oh
It
my
probably
goodness!
saved them some
I feel like
cents
that's
or
my
something.
issue. with my
Actual,
GoPro.
actually just didn't care enough.
I feel like we should just like go like mod my GoPro after hearing all that, because my GoPro just freezing randomly, and I think it's just a heating issue.
Yeah, that might be easier to get into than this. There's like a billion screws.
Corey,
Yeah.
there's it teleported you to where your starting point is, and then there was a start here button. You
Ah.
walk over and it would have started it. Delve is not very self-explanatory. And then it is. And then it isn't. It's just how it be. So have you played a Path of Exile, Royalty?
No.
Have you got into any ARPGs?
I think I tried playing Wolcen when it originally came out, and I think that was similar to Path of Exile and Diablo. And
What was it called?
Wolcen?
Wilson?
Wolcen, so WOLCEN.
I have never heard of it.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Neither
when I
have
first
I.
came. It's very similar. But no, the PvE games just get, at least these types just get super boring to me because it's just like hack and slash. It's like brain dead. It feels like after you know, once you're strong enough.
I wish that was the case. Here it does not feel like it, but if you're not playing a build like mine. If you're playing one like his, it's a lot of dodging and being very focused on that sort of thing. Because he's a lot of DPS, but he's not super tanky. You know what I mean?
Look at that simple skill tree.
You got it.
By the way, that's one out of...
That's not even the entire thing.
Yep.
Alright, I oofed it. I don't know if I can get back to it.
I do not believe you can, but we did finish it while you were... Like,
Yeah.
it was finished, so you can come back here by clicking the location that we just finished.
It's not, because that's where we just finished.
Oh, it's because I'm up here then. Let me visit my campaign.
No.
Try a different place then. Dove is definitely one of those slightly jank.
I see, there we go.
This game is jank, but that's all what we love about it.
Okay.
New instance. But yeah,
Oh, we're out of sulfate, so.
and now we'll have to find it throughout the world.
Yep.
And your 50 bajillion gems of lovely.
Oh, thank you. So this play game is pretty crazy though. I don't think Path of Exile really takes the cake on like custom, like the many options you could take. So you have the crazy skill tree,
Which isn't actually that crazy in a lot of ways. It's just visually overloading because there isn't much separation
so it's like
between it.
who you start off as a character is dependent on where you start on the skill tree.
And most of its complexity is just because it's all interconnected, like Final Fantasy X was.
I don't know if you're seeing this, Royalty. Are you still watching?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then you have your big skill tree, and then you have your abilities come from like these gems you insert on your weapons, and they themselves can level up, and you can have support, so you could do some crazy builds with that. And then the new thing in the season is you could actually level up your items to have so that they have their own passives. And then I'm just joking. That's as much as I can think of right now.
He's
And-
not joking.
Yeah, I think with
And then
Diablo,
you have a passive tree on your character specifically.
I feel like with the Diablo games,
The gate is
And
open. And now
just what I've
I
seen
hear
from
her
my friends,
voice
it's like as they keep
if
adding
she was
stuff to a
sitting right
game,
here with me.
the HP on all the
Words of a
monsters
dead
just goes
woman
up and up because they have to, because everything.
That's
up from the
mostly
depths of
Diablo
Highgate.
3. It got really absurd
A
about
spirit
that.
chained,
Diablo 3 is
yet not
terrible about
enslaved,
that sort of thing because
tortured,
that
yet
game,
unbroken.
the balance on that is,
dead woman is Deshret,
it hit
and our red
Trillions.
Sakema longs to return to
Yeah.
the dust of a Visteri.
Path of Exile,
Free
Diablo
her,
2, Last
and I
Epoch
shall
don't
reward
hit
you
that
as my
sort of
gifts
like
allow.
absurdity in numbers.
Hmm.
They tried to go for more of a more varied approach. So I would recommend trying it out.
No, it's still the type of game that's kind of
Yeah.
boring to me.
Yeah,
but
D3 is like
D3 is something that actually made me not play ARPGs for a long time afterwards.
I actually like turn-based RPGs a lot. I I don't like how everything converted to AR.
I do agree with that
PG
one
after a
though.
while.
Like,
Yeah.
I like PoE, I like Diablo 2 and stuff, but also I like the like turn-based, even though I don't play it very often because like it was before my time in a lot of ways. Like Final Fantasy 16 is not. They're sticking with the ARPG like action, like live action.
Have you played
interaction thing with,
Divinity:
like,
Original Sin?
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Then. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's-
that's good. Baldur's Gate 3 has the
Mhm.
using the same system because the same devs.
Have you played?
I do want to play that with Corey, but also
Have you played the second Divinity Original Sin?
I only got off the first island on the second one.
Have you played Temple of Elemental Evil?
Is that a different game? No.
Oh. That's my jazz, man. Have you got Have you got a chance to try Midnight Suns yet?
Nope. Don't even know what that is.
not everyone is a Marvel nerd, sir.
I think I saw you playing that one time.
Yeah.
Like I came in here and I don't think you heard me.
Yeah.
Is that the one with the cards and?
Yeah, it's made by the same makers as XCOM.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looked interesting.
It's really good.
You know what would be terrible if you got into because I wouldn't see you for a while? Slay the Spire.
Oh, I've already beaten that.
You got to 820 already? Wow.
I beat the the normal game. I don't think I've like replayed it on hard mode if that's a thing.
Yeah, there's Ascensions, which unlock like after you beat the boss
Oh.
the first time, unlocks like a lot of stuff like the actual final boss.
If you like
Like
Slay the
keys and
Spire,
stuff.
there's
Yeah,
a
I'm
game
talking about Slay the Spire.
that's
game.
better than that. It's also a card-based game, but I think
Wait, what game
better.
are you talking about then?
I'm
I was talking
saying
about
this-
Slay the Spire.
yes, and I'm talking about Slay the Spire, but there is another card-based game that is I think more like it was more enjoyable to me than Slay the Spire. What was it? I ended up buying this one actually too.
Oh, I died. That big guy came by and he was quite the work to work through.
Be careful, one of them actually steals mana.
Yeah, he stole enough where like it was weird. Like my toggle is just all broke.
Yeah.
Where did I buy this game at?
Let me know if you remember the name of it. I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm looking through my library right now. 'Cause I know I actually bought it because I didn't want to. I want to always be able to go back to it.
Yeah, I could just straight up face tank this guy.
Just don't be in the blue circle of soup. Really? Both of them are doing this? How disappointing.
What's disappointing?
Both of the scepters have the same blasted crucible tree
Oh. I'm sorry.
items. I know there was quite a few different like card
Can't see why I want
like
to do that
deck
here.
building based games of various types. Like there's Lino the Arena, which is like a Into the Breach mix with Slay the Spire. It uses the deck building system, but also with tactical positioning
Yes.
like Into the Breach. And I did recommend it to Corey once.
What
But
game?
its backlog is very large.
I remember it's Ring of Pain.
Oh yeah, that one. That
one's
one was
fun.
like free or on sale once, and it was
Yeah,
like
it was on
interesting
Xbox Game
art
Pass.
style. Sorry, what?
Yeah, the art style was cool. It was on Xbox Game Pass. That's how I originally
That's
tried it.
probably right. If I remember correctly, its art style is more whatever the type of art style Don't Starve is like inspired by, like that same sort of thing. I forgot
Yeah.
what type of like Tim Burton-esque I think it's like he would call it that.
Hmm.
I'm not sure. It's like, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. I played a little bit of it. I'm not very. I can't play Slay the Spire because I'm so bad that I don't think I'm far enough ahead.
Hmm.
Ring of Pain, was Ring of Pain harder? I think Ring of Pain might have been a little bit harder, but there's also a lot more options for how you could build.
Blinded by my lust for
Yeah. Gothic fantasy horror films. Yeah, I guess it would be.
I watch now as my
I think Ring of Pain I mostly did the poison. The poison was pretty easy.
Bones. They fall and rise. A tide of mortal death and eternal death.
I have one of those type of deck building games on like my phone that was like 99 cents and it was actually a lot better than a lot of the free ones would be.
My empire of purity.
I don't play mobile games really.
I don't either, but I have a couple just in case. And I don't like going for the cheap added ones. Like I go for actual like what would be classified as a common game. Because let's be real, Candy Crush is a real game, even though some people would be elitist about it. But I mean, like something we would like play ourselves.
Back in the day, I used to play Flappy Bird.
That wasn't a mobile game at first, you know. That used to be like a Flash game, I think.
Yeah. That was
You sure
it
about
was
that?
funny because
That
Flappy
game-
Birds was so successful, and then the developer took the game off the freaking App Store. Oh my god. He lost so much money.
So successful that they got he pulled it off.
He pulled it off because it was stressing him out or something, I guess.
Probably got a lot of death threats from parents or something.
I don't think so.
It just got so popular that everyone in their neighbor probably wanted
See, you
access.
say you don't think so, but it's the internet and people give out death threats like candy, unfortunately. It's like actually an issue with the gaming industry. Why do people like doing that? Anyways. I mean, to be, you say you play Flappy Bird. I literally play Newgrounds games, so I'm not any better.
Congregate was my Flash game area.
Really? Congregate came, I thought Newgrounds would have been yours, because you're a bit older than me, but I guess it's just...
Yeah, but it was...
Because you're so old. Wow.
Well, Newgrounds
I played Newgrounds too.
happened, but at the same
would
time,
only
I
slow me
was
down.
playing RuneScape at the library.
You would play... Yeah, I guess that's fair. I played RuneScape on a mini clip back in the day. Back when they had it on other websites to access it.
I didn't even know they had on other
do you need
websites to
now?
access it.
My RuneScape account is at
What
least
do you
13
want?
years old.
Yeah, I lost access to my old RuneScape account.
I lost access to my first old RuneScape account, but the one afterwards I actually paid attention to. Because I lost the last one.
Oh, did you take my portal? Sorry about that.
Oh no, it's fine.
The portal open.
So how difficult is modding your DLSR?
Well,
Or DSLR? Okay, now I'm confused.
I don't know. I
how
think it's a
you
mirrorless.
say
I think it's mirrorless. So there's the DSLR. They have mirrors in them.
it. Yeah.
And mirrorless cameras.
Huh.
They don't. I don't know. I forget how it works. But
I just wasn't sure how to pronounce it because I think I jumbled the
DSLR.
letters in my head.
Yeah, it's easy to do. But anyway, it's fairly difficult, you know, because
Does
There's
it
a lot
have
of
a lot of
screws.
specialties? Yeah, specialty screws.
there's a lot of screws, and that's not necessarily the hard part, but they're all tiny and they're all kind of like slightly different sizes.
Yep.
I don't
They
even
don't
know.
want
Like,
people to fix it.
I don't know when I put it back together if I put all the screws in all the right places, but that doesn't matter that much. But there is some there's a decent amount of plastic, and there's parts where you have to kind of pull on stuff.
Oh, we have to go back to high kit.
So
Right.
that's the scary part when you're pulling on things. Like right now, I'm trying to pull off the top, and I don't want to crack anything.
Yep. Reminds me of working with when I was trying to like repair a phone back in
But
the day.
Oh, what phone were you repairing?
It was like an old LG phone. It's old now.
I still have a V20. At least it comes apart easily. Maybe a little too easily.
The one I had didn't. It was not.
Mine, I dropped my phone onto
Can
my
we be
bed
of
by
help?
accident. It'll just fly apart. Onto my bed.
It was crazy.
But yeah.
Because my LG phone before, like, it was really cool. Like the very bottom, like you just press the button, you can actually slide the battery out. And it was like it was made so that you could easily just flip out the battery. And then it was the next LG phone, and it was not. It was like if you do anything with me, I will void your warranty and scream at you. All right, what am I
Wow.
doing?
There we go.
Okay, we went to.
One of the best features we've lost off of phones over the years, outside of the headphone jack, because that's a freebie, is IR blasters.
I don't know. I didn't feel like that many phones had IR blasters. A couple did. Which
A
is
lot
cool,
of them
but
had for quite a while,
I had an
and then they
HTC
didn't,
One that did.
and now it's the like actual like. If the phone is not a flagship, your phone has more features,
Yeah.
which is stupid. It's like the flagships have less features and also no headphone jack.
I think
I
the
remember,
IR blasters were a hard one because they need to maintain the databases.
You
for-
don't. What you had to do with an IR blaster is just keep it on there, because all the software you can do yourself.
I remember when my
Like I just have a random app on my phone that does the IR blaster stuff.
Here, I'll-
Sorry, Corey, you were saying something?
I was remembering my cousin just lately. This is you. So I remember like my cousin lately, like he just wanted an SD card and he like went, I think like over an overseas phone just to get an SD card.
Yeah, because they don't want you to do that. They wanted you to get a new phone instead or use their cloud program.
Well, there's some reasons to not have an SD card. Obviously
They're not
saving
valid
money.
anymore because all the like water resistant stuff. There's more water resistant phones with an SD card slot.
Well, what I was
Same
gonna
with
say.
Just let him,
Same with
let him
the phone
finish,
jack.
Justin, let him finish.
Okay.
What I was gonna say is one of the reasons is micro SD is great, but it's also a lot slower than the internal hard drives that they have now. So if you want good performance, a lot of the performance of some of these applications are suffering because you're trying to run it off of a micro SD card compared to the fast storage that's on board.
But I say that doesn't happen anymore. SD cards are much faster now. I mean, like, look at the Switch. It runs off SD cards, and you don't see people complaining about its Switch speeds. Instead, you see people complaining about the Switch being underpowered in the first place. But that's the thing is like, people don't even notice them running slowly in the first place because no phones now have those slots in the first place. They took them out before they were an issue.
the Switch
And
might
a
be
lot of the
different
time, the
because
phones
you load-
themselves are slow. Like,
Switch-
it's always the slower phones that have the SD cards slots in the first place.
Yeah, the Switch might be a little bit different because you load the games probably into VRAM.
No,
I
the
don't-
VRAM on that system is like 1 or 2 gigs, and most games on it is like 50 gigs, 30 gigs.
Alright.
But it's like, I know what you're trying to say, and I can agree with you, but I do believe that is not the reason why. And most people wouldn't even notice it. It's I do legitimately believe a lot of it is either
My mom
brand
is gone.
recognition or just following Apple. Honestly, a lot of the changes is Apple because the mobile industry just follows them for almost everything.
Unless you're
Removal
unless
of
you're
charging
Samsung,
bricks,
Because Samsung,
for example.
unless you're Samsung's been having like features way before, just no one knew. At least it wasn't like super public knowledge.
They might, but then Apple does it, and then suddenly everyone else is doing it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Apple doesn't know. I mean, the common people don't really know. Like waterproof phones. Oh yeah, Samsung did that a long time ago. Like the whole camera features, Samsung did that a long time ago. They actually were generally always on the top end when it comes to like phone technology.
Samsung's photos are actually like cameras are like very middling. Actually, but it's like, but I mean like it becomes popular and then it becomes standard and then everyone does it and then there's no like change outside of that. Like the charging bricks, Apple said it was for the environment, but it really wasn't, because there was like no actual proof that it helped with the environment, and it caused that, and that it allowed them to sell a $30 charging brick for their phone separately for their $700 phone.
Yeah.
Or I guess it's a $1,200 phone now, isn't it? I wouldn't know. I don't keep track of phones. I use my phone as a phone.
Yeah, the
Apparently
good thing
that's
about
rare now.
Apple, though, I think where they get a lot of, the kind of like the fanfare is because it's not so much just about having the feature, it's about the execution. And so Apple will wait until
It's
software and hardware
Oh yeah.
can.
I mean, they make their own hardware, so, or they order it, and they make their own software, so it's not really wait until it's done. It's they'll make it anyways.
Well, they wait until the experience is a little more cohesive, and then they support it. That's another thing, because Google
They
will
don't
cancel
though?
stuff.
Like
They do though.
messages, like iMessage is actually anti-supporting like a lot of SMS and stuff, even if it is their integration systems are very good.
I guess
And
I'm not
also-
talking about intercompatibility. I'm talking about they'll release a feature and it's supported. With Google, they will release features, with Android in general. They will release features and Google will
The
cancel
difference
stuff and-
there, I will
that's
say, is
supported.
Android isn't just Google. And that's a big part of what about Android is like Android is like 20 different sub-manufacturers and software companies doing that. iPhone is just Apple, and it's over like half of it. So Google is more like a much smaller part outside of the like few Googleized things like the Google Play Store.
Yeah, and still, it's still the same thing. It doesn't really matter to someone who just wants to use their phone. If you have a feature and you're disabling the feature or disabling services, that's really bad. Like Android Wallet, Google Pay, whatever they call it now, they went through 10 different iterations of that, and that's why people don't really use it. Like people use Apple Pay, because Apple Pay's been around for years and they just support it, and it's going to work the same way.
It's because they also have a much bigger install base for it to be profitable, and Google likes to destroy things that are successful.
Yes.
There's more Android phones than iPhones, but it's still
But it's not just Google.
the
It's not just
consumer
Google making
doesn't care.
Android. It is also Amazon, Asus, OnePlus.
But that doesn't matter because all of
LG.
those can
Well, not
use
LG.
Android Wallet. Whatever Google releases, they can use them. So the install base
But
is
they
bigger.
don't have to. They can make their own, and that's
Be careful.
a big part of the issue.
Right, but that I don't think that has a big of a deal, because people would use Android Wallet or Google Wallet or whatever. I tried using it when I had Android phones, but they kept changing things, and then I'd put credits in, then I'd have to reload my credit cards because they changed the name and the way the service works, and that's what I'm talking about. It's the fact that there's multiple distributors didn't matter, because I had tons of Android phones from
Like,
HTC,
that's what I'm
from
saying.
ASUS, and it all worked on them. It's just that Google itself kept changing the service.
And those companies probably skinned it their own way. I've had the same issue with
No, they didn't skin
iPhone
it.
company because they make a custom Android. Because most companies make a custom Android and then they have their own variant on the camera app, the messages app, the wallet app.
No,
browser,
it didn't have
all
anything to
those
do with skinning. The Android app looked the same on all of those. It's just that they were making changes to the services. Like I follow this stuff heavily. Like I did Windows Phone when it had a.
I had
you know,
a Windows
the-
Phone also.
I had not the newer Windows phones. I'm
I had a
talking
Windows
about
Phone 8.
the Windows Phone where you had a stylus. I forgot what
Oh,
it
the
was even called.
XP one?
It's like Windows XP or Windows Mobile. I had those. Then I went to Windows 7, then Windows 8, then Windows 10. I also had a whole bunch of Android phones. Then I finally went to iPhone. And I work in IT,
This
so
is
like
one deeply
I
troubled
I get
matter.
all the stuff. I was on XDA developers for too long, tinkering with my phones, and then it's just like, you know what? One day I said, let me get this iPhone.
Like, I'm not saying they don't make good software stuff. I'm just saying that they are what they can arbitrarily choose something, and the rest of the industry will follow it.
I think the rest of the industry does some stuff that Apple does because they see stuff that's working. Some of the
Almost
stuff that they're
everything.
doing isn't.
Almost everything
work.
now, they do. They follow, like, they'll follow it for one reason or another.
Yeah. And I think it's also people aren't buying what you would assume people would buy.
And also, I'll be honest, Apple is less of a tech industry, like tech company at this point. It's more of a lifestyle company. That's how they brand themselves, how they try to make their sort of brand image, and how they
Oh.
integrate everything together. And also, you just died.
I did that. That's some
I like
savage
how fast
lightning.
you can restart.
I mean, that is very nice. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't care about the Apple lifestyle as much as I care about the services just working. Services and features just working.
But I mean, like, not that is like their stuff just working is also part of that.
Yeah, it is. But, you know, I mean...
And I'm just
it
saying,
works.
because they are portrayed as
Unfortunately.
a luxury brand nowadays. Well, not nowadays. They almost always happen after the 90s when they had Macintosh, the original ones.
Yeah.
Now that, like, ever since the iPhone and stuff, that was very much revolutionary at the time, and so, like, they've been portrayed as a luxury brand, and because of that, people will follow them, for better or for worse.
I don't think it's just because of that. I think some of that
Companies
is
follow
selling-
the trend, and Apple just so happens to be the trend maker instead of the one following it.
Some of the stuff
Because
is
it
marketing,
seems
but
it is shown as successful, and so it is safe and easy money. It's immediate profit. They don't have to do a lot of R&D on the, like, testing out new things, unless if it's already been portrayed as successful.
What was it like? I think it was like a joke like a couple iPhones ago where they like the difference between 11 and 12 was like just this like maybe just the size. I forgot. Like even like the founder, of Apple, his daughter made that. Like made that she pointed that out.
And Apple does a lot of good things. They're just not. They also do a lot of bad things too because they're a company. They are not our friends. Every company is not for our best interests.
Yeah, I think like when it comes to Apple, they definitely like when it comes to streamlining things, they definitely have it down to a T. It's like to the point that Robin, my wife would rather just use an Apple. works. He just is used to their mode of operation. I think if I didn't have all my stuff and all my games on Android, I actually wouldn't care what pickle I'm close to.
And I've had some issues with when Apple does change their stuff, like all their Mac OS stuff. Back in the day, like I've tried to help my mom with her Mac, and it legitimately would not work because it was somewhat old, so that didn't actually support the newer stuff. Even though it said they did, but with the moment you did, everything broke. So
yeah, I definitely had issues. I've tried to help people with old Mac stuff, and it's always a nightmare.
Apple is a lot better on the phone front on that, making sure everything still works. But other than that, they have a lot more rough of a situation there. Like I think it's similar with like their photo editing, like Final Cut and stuff. Is like they just don't update it often enough.
Do you want to do this? Do you have something you want to level up?
I have a shield that why am I not wearing this shield? Because it's.
Are you still there, Royal, or did we lose you?
I probably overranted.
No, I'm here. I'm working on my camera.
Oh.
Okay.
He's,
well, I'll stop bugging you about things that will continuously go in a circle for how it goes.
No, you're not bugging me. I mean, I feel like I've used.
You've said your piece.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is I've used all the different types of phones that there is. I feel like to know kind of like, you know, what to have a good idea about all the strengths and weaknesses. You know, I'm not. I'll never be the guy that says like this company or this product is perfect. I'm more of the mindset.
And I hope
you're
not, because none of them are.
I'm more of the mindset of, you know, do what works for you.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not elitist.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, Apple's perfect, or oh, you should use Android just because, you know, that's, I don't know, people start fanboying over stuff. But
I don't like those people either. Like, I would recommend an Android, but that's only because I do things most people don't do, like make a server. I do tech stuff, like very IT, like power user things, which is very difficult with something like an iPhone, but they still can do it, and that's perfectly fine. I'm
it
different.
depends on what you do, because you know, I work in IT too. You know, I have an iPhone, but my variance of devices is very high. Like I have iPhone SE 2 or something like that. It's one of the cheaper iPhones to get into the. I have that. And I have an
I think
Apple Watch.
the big difference is also I don't change my phone unless it ever literally falls apart. So that's kind of a big thing on my end. Is like I would still be using that LG phone if the battery didn't start going bad and started falling apart. Like physically the back fell off and wouldn't stay back on.
I think the iPhone SE, the one that I have now, this is the longest I've ever had a phone, and probably the entire time that I've owned smartphones. You know, since I upgraded from a flip phone. But I only have the 2 Apple devices, and everything else is I'm doing Windows, or I have Linux because I have a couple servers. I run my own. I run Nextcloud, so like,
I would do a lot of that stuff also if I had money for it, but I just have a little Dell computer that I got from my aunt that I use as a local web server and print server.
Yeah, that'll work too. It's just so much easier kind of having a dedicated server that's accessible. But the one, I found a crazy deal. Like I found this crazy server, like the specs on it are really good, and I pay like $40 a year for the server.
Oh wow.
And I just use that to run, it's like, I use that to run our Nextcloud, and my wife uses it. She's like, you know, actually really good with it. And then we use KeyPass for like saving our passwords, but Nextcloud is what syncs everything.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
do a
actually
little
have
bit
a
of
key
everything.
pass also, but I use sync thing over like and make it sync over various documents
tried
on my
them.
phone and my computer and stuff.
I tried sync thing, and then there was this weird service. It was free for a minute. It wasn't. What's it called?
I think sync
It
thing
was-
is like legitimately one of those sort of things that probably won't work with stuff like Apple stuff because it is very power user in a way that's not to their like story guidelines sort of thing. Because I think you have to jailbreak your phone for that, don't you?
I don't know. I was trying sync thing I think before I got an iPhone, but
Right.
you know, Nextcloud is a whole ecosystem of stuff. You know,
Yeah.
it replaces basically like Google Suite, and more with all the plugins. So
I'll be honest,
that's the way it went.
I don't even use Google Suite. I use like LibreOffice on my computer, so I'm not very good at that.
Yeah, I think I said Google Suite. I meant like Google.
I know,
Drive.
like all the like Google Cloud and stuff.
Yeah, all the Google Cloud services.
I probably
Yeah.
would use it if I could like self-host it myself, or if find a
You
good
can.
VPS or something.
You can self-host it. You can run on any Linux really.
I'm not doubting that. I've just been like it'd be a lot of work to make sure that little box that's terrible can actually run it. It was an issue just running Docker because it had support issues with the virtualization because it's a
Yeah.
Dell product.
I run on Raid, and that handles all my Docker stuff. Really neat.
I definitely need to actually finish setting it up.
Oh, Docker.
Yeah, like I have Docker working. I had it running on like I said, the web server sort of thing, like when I was messing around with it, but I just never had a web page to put on it in the first place. I had an idea, that was for sure. And I
Still
think
waiting to
a
start
big
this boss.
Huh?
Are you guys waiting to start a boss or something?
I didn't know if like I got a little bit too much into the conversation.
Yeah,
My bad.
I also was like, more lasagna. My 5th serving.
Here, you can have you can watch me be boring and not die.
Well, interesting. I respawn. Oh, there we go.
If you want, I'm also streaming and I'm running a very tanky build. I kind of killed Corey there. I'm sorry, Corey. I killed you.
I wasn't ready for that. They like surrounded me. I wasn't ready to start strafing. Let's
I
go.
can't watch the other stream because I'm getting to the hard part here.
Oh? Oh! Oh, yeah. Sorry for jabbering your ears off. Like, I know you said you do the IT stuff, but I don't know if you like to do it outside of what you need to.
No, I'm a big nerd.
Yeah. I'm a little rusty on a lot of the more technical stuff like that since I haven't been in high school and I haven't actually had to like use it because I never had the resources to actually utilize a lot of it since I never actually got a
The
job or
Rapture
anything.
device has absorbed its fill of harvested life from fury and
You know,
desire.
you just
And
tinker
I
around
only
and-
just got an
Not a
actual computer
cockroach.
to run the
Had
Linux
I
stuff
accepted
on.
my place, my
Yeah.
rapturous role,
You said you're in
the
high
beast
school?
would be no more,
No, I finished
no
college.
less,
Oh, okay.
I have an
no
associate's.
anything at all.
Oh, okay, nice.
My selfishness
I
tickled
I didn't get
the
my
beast's
first
fancy
laptop
and
until I
laughed
was
the
I
world
was
knew
actually telling
away.
Corey about that. I didn't get my
Yet
first
I
laptop
have
until I
had
was in high
much
school.
time to
Yep.
think on my lonesome.
Same thing
Much
actually.
time to
And my
wonder.
laptop back then
Wonder if
was
the
so
rapture
bad
really
it
needs to eat a
had
genuine
issues running the
queen.
web browser.
Maybe something
And that
else
was
will
new.
get its catastrophic juices
Got my
slathering.
laptop from Compact.
Something
Wow.
like
Mine was an
Um,
HP
eyeball
one.
soup.
Ooh.
The
It was a
eye of
compact
fury.
that
The
we bought
eye
from
of
Circuit City,
desire.
and both don't even
Pretty
exist
gems
anymore.
throughout pretty designs.
You.
But
Did you
where
know
could they
LG
be?
doesn't exist in the
Don't
phone
fret
industry,
now.
by the way?
I have my suspicions.
That's fine. They weren't really needed.
Calm.
They're not doing
The
anything.
sovereign of slaughter.
No, I mean like
He
they
remains and
backed out of the
suffers his
phone industry
delusions
like
right
5 years
here in the
ago.
halls
Yep.
of nightmare.
Yeah, that's fine. I think
Fury is all he knows.
I'm not sure if Sony
So
did
Fury
completely, but they
calm
might
will
as well.
have.
They stopped making cool
Duresso,
stuff.
King of Swords.
Windows phones are still going
Damned
strong.
by desire. Oh,
Nokia
Uncle
somehow is still
He's
a
down
live
here too, and
business,
desires
and that's a
cursed.
surprise to me.
It's funny.
Yeah, I don't know about Windows phones, but yeah, Nokia is sold to a Chinese company. It's not the
No,
real
Nokia is
anymore.
owned by Microsoft.
I was joking about Microsoft. They're
Um,
not doing. They dropped phones for a while ago.
Oh, there is a Nokia phone. Like there's like
Nokia's-
one or two of them, but they're practically unknown here in the U.S.
Black.
Justin, I just wanted to let you know that Nokia is not owned by Microsoft
I
anymore.
remember them being bought by Microsoft once.
Yeah, they sold it off when the Windows Phone thing failed, and now
Really?
Nokia
now I feel
they're
like
making
where's the dunce cap?
they're making Android phones, but it's just owned by like some random
Ah,
Chinese company.
see, now I'm the one that needs the dunce cap because I'm the one that's spouting lies, and that means I could have been spouting old news this entire time.
Yeah, I miss those Windows phones. Windows, I
I
really
had
like the design.
I
of
had a
Windows
Nokia
10.
265, whatever it was like a Verizon one, and it was kind of terrible because they never made any apps for it.
Yeah,
And then
Google
they
paid
wouldn't
a decent
update it
amount
to
of
Windows
money.
Phone 10,
Don't
which would have
die,
actually
please.
added those apps. So I got that double whammy,
I think
This isn't the Karui
even though
that I
they
know.
said they
I
would.
dreamed of my ancestors' halls.
trying to use Amazon Prime. Speaking of not having little support or like no power to support
an
their
offering that will save the
devices.
Karui. I needed only to take it.
Oh, an Amazon tablet?
I gathered
Yeah.
my finest 500.
Bailey has
I brought
one,
them
like
here.
her, like
I
her
claimed
mother-in-law.
Do you know how to put Google the Google Play Store on it?
I might just have to.
You practically do.
that's what I did
Unless
with mine.
the apps is like
It's worth it though because they make pretty solid tablets, and you just get them when those are on sale. They're already cheap, then you get them on sale. I got like a Windows. I'm sorry.
I know there's some really bad Amazon tablets also, but you know, they do what they do. That's what they're meant for.
Yeah, I think I got like a Fire HD 8 or something, and then I loaded the Google Play Store, and that was nice. It's like any other tablet.
My mana is gone.
I honestly just use it to run my stats on my cycle, my workout cycle.
Honestly, we got a tablet to do effectively watch YouTube or play YouTube videos at like 480p while we're doing like stuff on the treadmill or whatever.
Yep,
And then dog came around, and then nothing got used again.
that's much smarter than buying a $2,000 Peloton with a TV attached to it.
The tablet was a pain because, ironically enough, the YouTube app ran terribly, but if I ran the YouTube in Firefox on it, it ran fine. Like, it would actually run higher definition videos better.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long we're gonna have Firefox around. Hopefully they end up staying.
I think it will stay because it's literally the only other. I think outside of probably Opera, and I don't even think Safari is its own engine anymore. I'm not sure about that one. You'd have to
Safari's
tell me.
based
if
on
this-
WebKit, and then
Okay, so they didn't move to the Chromium like everything else. Thank goodness.
no,
I'm
no,
happy about
because
that.
the history of it is
Yeah.
Apple made Safari, then they kind of came up with the WebKit engine, and then Chrome originally used WebKit engine, and
Yeah.
what is Chrome now is kind of it I forgot the open source term, but it broke off
Chromium?
of WebKit.
Yeah.
Of an offering left
And
to
then
us by
all
God.
the major
An
browsers
offering
nowadays
that will
is
save
Chromium
the
based.
Karui.
Yeah, now
Edge is
Chrome's-
Chromium. Opera is Chromium.
But it started
gathered
WebKit.
my finest
Believe it or not,
500.
like it
I
started
brought
with
them
Everything
here.
started
I
with
claimed what
Face
Tukuhama
and
had
it's
promised me.
I miss I don't really miss it. Netscape.
I don't miss Internet Explorer because it was very bad, but I never actually got to use Netscape. I never got to because I was
Bring the beast to
never
They had the
my
coolest
in that
logo.
space for it.
We will
It's
be
like
Like
this
I was
comic.
full
friends,
too young
beast,
and
until we slaughter you.
That would only slow me down.
yeah. I never saw the Netscape logo.
Yeah, it was pretty neat.
Also, sorry Corey for distracting you from all the dialogue.
Oh, that's
Well,
cool.
hopefully he's not streaming. Is he streaming?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. People can hear how old I am. I remember we used Netscape as our browser, and then there wasn't any Google at the time, so we used Excite. The site's called
I
Excite.
know for a fact
Search.
Google was a thing in the 90s. It just wasn't very common. That
Yes.
back in those days, it was.
I remember
At least in the
using
2000s was
Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves. I don't know what Excite is, so I'm probably too young for that.
Yeah, I
But I
remember.
used Ask Jeeves back in the day. And Yahoo, because Yahoo used to be good back then.
Oh
Fluent
yeah,
Talk.
I remember that.
Yahoo was never really good, but it was kind of like
It was there.
what
They had
people
the
had.
GeoCity stuff.
The GeoCity stuff. Oh, I started my first sites on GeoCities. I did use that.
I remember going through at least a couple of those. It didn't really do too much about that though.
I
It's
don't have
too young.
any recollection of GeoCities.
You said you
the
don't, or you do?
old
I don't.
Think of it like
90s.
like have you ever heard of
web
Squarespace?
pages.
So
It's
if
not-
you've heard of
Yes.
Squarespace, which is like kind of like a what you
decent
see
one.
is what you get like site
Yeah.
builder.
Hmm.
It's just like that, but in like
90s.
the 90s before you had all like really good standards. Like
Oh,
it was
I see.
it
Okay.
this is the time where people still had like multicolored fonts, and like you'd go on a website and music would play, or
Yeah.
you'd go on a website and then like your cursor would change to like a comet.
Yeah.
It was
Those
really
were the
bad.
days.
Dude, I miss
Like, you
those.
would-
Can we get those cursors back without the viruses, please? Thank you.
Right, you had those cursors with the comments, and then you'd have like a neon green background with like bright red font
Or
coloring.
it would
Dude,
be
I
like a
remember-
tiny
so-
thing that tiles terribly, so it looks horrendous.
When
Yeah.
I was a kid, I loved the video game Diablo, and so I always remember going onto the website, and you hear the oh, and like you get like a flaming cursor.
It probably
Yep.
was built on GeoCities or something, and you'd never notice. Because it was that prevalent back in the day
I'll be back.
for the
Yeah.
big stuff.
You'll see this was pretty bad.
I ate
But I learned
lasagna, now I
basic
need to clean my-
HTML and JavaScript there.
JavaScript. What a great time to get your computer locked up because you went to something that made it bounce all over the place. Back when JavaScript was allowed to do that.
I mean, actually,
Like,
JavaScript
Do you
does a
guys
lot of
all
remember
that, like,
hearing-
you are an idiot sort of thing? Like, you remember that virus or whatever it was?
I actually didn't get too many viruses, luckily. The places where I got my first viruses were like
It wasn't really a virus, it was like one of
and
those...
stuff like that. File sharing.
You ever used it LiveWire?
Yeah, LimeWire and
LimeWire, yeah.
I never got
That
to use Napster.
I never used Napster because I wasn't really into the music at that point, but LimeWire was the thing. And I think that was most of that. No, I think I got at least one virus. And somehow I found multiple things that wasn't viruses or honeypots or whatever. On the 7 seas way back when. And I don't know how I avoided so many of them. I was a naughty kid. Aren't we all though?
I just wanted ROMs back then. So I was mainly just trying to download ROMs.
It wasn't even ROMs. I think I got Oblivion that way way back then.
The ROMs I was trying to download were like Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis.
I mean, to be fair, that was pretty common back then. Anything before like 2008 is very abstract to me because I was like 10. Well, I definitely was there during the point when YouTube had a 5-star rating. And then there was also MySpace.
Yeah.
MySpace was kind of as bad as GeoCities, thinking about it.
MySpace is really where the music actually started playing.
Yeah. And then you would also have like actual atrocities to the eyes. Because people would think it's cool, but that's literally all they thought about it. Man. Yeah, that just makes me feel old, thinking Facebook is pretty much just MySpace but cleaner at this point.
I'll go back.
Man.
So I was eavesdropping. Eavesdropping? Yeah, that's the word. Yeah, I was eavesdropping a bit. And back in the day, I used to be really into like the band like Under Oath, Linkin Park. When it was like when the first Transformers movie came out.
To Lincoln Park, you have not met my family. They never left that era.
But I remember like finding, so MySpace, like you could like have like your profile page like
Filled all over
yeah,
with
and
that
so
stuff.
I will, no joke, will just find something that like, oh man, this Under Oath is so me. It's a band. It's so
Oh no,
me, man.
so you were one of those
Oh
people?
yeah, so I'll like, there's this full script that you like will copy, paste.
Yeah. You would then would just have the animation or whatever for the music player.
Yeah. Heck, I don't even know. I don't even know if my profile's still up. That's another thing I lost contact on. Was how
I
to
mean,
get on
I
my
actively tried to remove my MySpace. Remember that? Was that or Facebook that we had an? You told me, you were like, "Hey, I tried to finding you on whatever, and is this you?" And I was like, "No, I do not have any."
It was Facebook. Someone was legitimately posing on you on Facebook,
What
and
is
you
it,
went out of your
Exile?
way to like.
I'm watching.
I was
report
already
it.
out of my way to delete it, but I went out of my way to be like, report.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah, I reported that like was like stolen, like not me,
Yeah.
not. Because I know my family would have fallen for that otherwise. Outright. And that's depressing thinking actually a little bit.
I care nothing for your past. future. And for that,
I'm happy I was able to stop it before he got anywhere, though.
So I don't know if you missed that, Royal.
What, you infected your whole network or something?
No, I was talking about like back in the MySpace days where like I was really into this band called Under Oath, or at the moment like Linkin Park, like the album after the first Transformer movie. Like I enjoyed Linkin Park before, but that album really just like said me,
Spoke to you.
high school me. And so like I remember it's like getting a long string of codes and copying and pasting it on MySpace to have it like be this full like vomit of like Linkin Park imagery.
That was your rebellious stage. Linkin Park, and only Linkin Park.
Linkin Park, Under Oath. Gosh, who else? Don't remember too many people as I was in back then. But MySpace, like you used to really care who was your top 5 friends. Mafia. Oh,
Was it? Are you thinking about the game? Because I know there was one of those on Facebook.
it was like a textbooks game. And sounds
There was
like,
a Zynga one, because they made a lot of those. Probably more Facebook.
so Robin's home, so I wanna dip, friends.
All right. You have a good night.
Oh wait, never mind. She's not home. That's Brendan.
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 Thank you
So
for
you-
having this nostalgia moment with us.
No problem. So you just play until your wife gets home every night?
Pretty much. I'm actually really surprised. She went to like a pastor's conference, which Brendan did too, and I really thought she was going to be staying at her parents after they live in the same area. Mine, you can have it. You can have the rest. When Robin's gone, the lasagna goes into the oven.
Did you ever get into the MySpace stuff?
Probably.
Realty?
No, I didn't have a MySpace.
You didn't have a
wasn't really into
MySpace?
I wasn't into social media stuff.
Uh,
I got into social media in college because Facebook started as college only. And when I got there, you know, that was the incentive. Like, I'm gonna get on Facebook because everybody else is on Facebook to meet people.
I was in like early high school when I got into MySpace, and I think that was a kind of reluctant even then, but still, it was
I
like
love
it was a time of high school edginess. So
that was a weird creature. It was like a chicken with a bow. Oh no, I followed all the social media trends until Facebook. After Facebook, like when Twitter became a thing, I stopped. I like dropped from the bandwagon.
I will say that it's not completely true because you had Facebook for a while too.
No. I'm saying like because there was Facebook and then Twitter happened after. So once it moved to Twitter, I just stopped.
Because it was much more short form at that point.
I never got Twitter. Like, I mean, I've used it, but I
don't even
follow it.
use Twitter. Like, I think I have one just so that way I can make sure people don't like steal like my username or whatever.
I have one for
Ever since that
giveaways.
Facebook
All the
thing.
Gleam giveaways give you points.
Pretty much
Yeah.
the same too. Although I'm pretty sure I'll never win because I think they have a thing against using account only for giveaways nowadays.
I don't know. I don't even know how it works. I don't even know if those giveaways are
the first ones look upon
legit.
this capture with
Some of them are, some of them aren't.
I mean, the way Gleam operates, I don't even
That
know.
would only slow me down.
Is it really random? I don't know.
That's how I feel about most giveaways. Is this really random?
Oh,
Like how the lottery seems like older people seem
missed
to
something?
always win the lottery, even though it's kind of their incentive to only
Oh, you're
have
starting
older
something.
people win. Like, there's so much stuff happening on the screen. I don't even know what's what.
like I said, it's not very it's more like a brain overload for some people.
Your brain gets used to
track
it.
everything. Maybe you're not supposed to.
Like I was like feeling overloaded when I first started playing, and then your brain just gets used to filtering all the images, like playing a JRPG.
Never did that.
You ever played a JRPG like Final
I
Fantasy?
played Star Ocean and Final Fantasy. I mean, technically, all the Sony RPGs were like Japanese RPGs, right?
Yeah.
But those were all turn-based.
That's true. Yeah,
Not
What is
anymore
it,
though,
Exile?
unfortunately.
that's true.
Back in my day, they were turn-based.
I agree with that. But like the new like
What do you need now?
Final Fantasy, like Final Fantasy 15, the one that not even Corey likes. That one is not turn-based whatsoever. Neither is 14 nor 12.
I think I only like Final Fantasy 7. That's the only one I. Well, no, Final Fantasy 7 was PlayStation, so I tried that. That was okay. But
Final
it's like
Fantasy 7 is like the freebie.
Final Fantasy 6, or
it's like-
technically it was Final Fantasy 3. I don't know, something like that.
On Nintendo, because they
Super
that's
Nintendo.
I think that's Final Fantasy 6, isn't it?
Oh,
So
it's
it's Final
Kefka.
Fantasy 3 on the Super Nintendo, but it's actually Final Fantasy 6 in the line.
Right.
So if you got
Because
like
it got
if you got a Game Boy
relabeled
Advance,
in
it was
the
6.
US. Yeah. When did they start primarily doing the live action or like action bar thing? Was that like Final Fantasy 8 or 9?
So action bar, you meaning like actually like it's active fighting time?
Like it was like semi turn based, but you had
that
like,
was 3, so or 6.
no. Like it was like turn based, but wasn't.
Yeah.
Like you still chose your things in a turn based, but you had to still do it actively. And within an amount
Oh.
of time.
Shoot.
I think that one might be 9.
No.
So my
9
favorite RPG, like one of my favorite RPGs of all time, is Legend of the Dragoon.
Ooh, yeah.
That game, so good.
Oh yeah.
It was turn-based, but there was still action, cause just the fighting system that they
You
did.
had to hit it in combos.
Yeah, you have to hit the combos. Sorry, that just came to
Yes.
my brain.
ATB system.
May fear guide you.
Let's see, what is ATB? Active time battle. Yeah, let's see.
Vagrant.
Yeah, they
Trail is
added
also pretty
time
fun.
to commands. Instead of having this heart speed stat, it was gauge based.
Yeah, that will be 6.
That was
Or it could be 2.
it was Final Fantasy 4.
Yeah. 2 Super Tales 2, but actually Final Fantasy 4.
Yeah.
So that's actually pretty interesting. So on the Super Nintendo, they like really dumbed it down for the American audience.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's really
It did not
interesting.
feature it in the Super Nintendo or PlayStation versions.
Yeah, because if you play the stuff after of Final Fantasy 4, it's actually really hard.
So it looks like they had the advanced battle thing on the on the other systems, just not the Super Nintendo or PlayStation. Like in the future versions of it. It was actually the actual visible meter was introduced in 5. Apparently.
Do you want that Siege Ballista since you bought me one?
Nah, just keep it if you want.
All right.
Have a backup. But to be fair, you were pretty much right on the
Yeah.
6 was probably the most
No.
noticeable use of it.
I-
Like
I've
it looks
had
like
both.
4 had the Simpson, but not visually. but 5 had the fever.
So like I loved 6. We had 4 growing up, or 2 on the Super Nintendo. I'll just say 2 or 3 because on the Super Nintendo they're 2 and 3.
Why did they have to do that? Why did they have to rename it in the U.S.?
You will be a survivor.
Oh no! If you really want to feel like a an assault on your intelligence, play Final Fantasy on the Super Nintendo. They truly thought American gamers were the biggest idiots in the world.
They still do, actually. Japan still does that. That's actually like a big part of why a lot of JRPGs don't come into the US market.
Now it is time for Einar
But Final
to go to
Fantasy,
Einar business.
just on the Super Nintendo in general, like Final Fantasy, like it's a pure garbage. It's a garbage pile.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that.
Well, it's interesting because I was a kid, I loved it.
And then you play the original.
Then I played as an adult, and I was like, wow. This doesn't get as easy as that. Like literally the final boss, you can just cast basic cure on it and you instant kill it.
Oh wait, I think we didn't go far enough. That is interesting.
Yep.
But did you know that Japan actually JRPGs don't come into the US or get translated a lot?
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
Because they think the US is like too stupid. Like legitimately, it's not like just marketing conditions. Because there's definitely a group of people like you that would still play it. And then there's a lot of smaller things that like. And in some ways, I do agree with them because there's a lot of people that are stupid here in the US. But
I
to
won't
be
say
fair,
stupid.
that's
I think
how it
it's
is.
just what they choose to have their vested interest in.
Yeah.
Because I know people who are really smart when it comes to Call of Duty. Because that's all they put their time and life into.
True.
So, like, yeah, if you define smart into what you think is your interest, then yeah, then most people...
I don't even think that, but I guess that is a bad phrasing.
No, that's what I mean
anyways.
though. Like legitimately for the Super Nintendo, for the original Final Fantasy, they did think like the American audience was dummies.
Yeah.
And they won't enjoy like the JRPG flow of just like how the
Or
time
RPGs
consuming
in
and the
general.
story and like the amount of like time and research.
Thinking about it, I wonder how much of that might have been like them like somewhat like seeing a lot of our culture about Dungeons and Dragons.
I mean, it's a possibility.
Because it's like a lot of like, in hindsight, stupid decisions. Because
What's crazy is it's like Dungeons and Dragons
How
started in
was
the
that?
United States.
yeah, but I mean like, it started here, but the public reaction to it,
Yeah.
and like back then the world wasn't as interconnected, so that it probably was like very shallow like
Yeah.
knowledge about it, and the people's reaction is mostly negative, like in pop culture and like what was most common then, like D&D only really started becoming normalized like mid 2000s, didn't it? Like with the internet, ironically enough, because it was still a common thing, but it was like when nerds and people started realizing their biases a little bit more.
Yeah.
And although it still feels a little weird saying they realize it, because there's a lot of people stuck in their ways, but that's like me just being like a grumpy person talking about my own ways as it is.
Yeah, I also just think
like,
like sense,
culture.
there's a sense in just like art and culture where we just like we always want something newer.
Yeah. Oh, I meant like with the D&D and stuff was like a lot of people saying it was like evil and stuff like that. Like we know people that legit like in high school. I knew, and I'm pretty sure you knew. Them too. I'm not gonna say names because you know.
Yeah.
That like their family legitimately would not let them because they thought it was literal evil.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like cultural taboos. You know, like the Salem witch trial was like another culture taboo.
Yeah.
It was more fear than really like anything of Jesus in it, you know?
Mm-hmm. And back to the original topic, I think Japan saw a lot of that fear.
Yeah.
And since they are inherently a different culture because they're on island, they have different different primary religion in that area.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of like...
And there was not a lot of critical thinking even in our own religion in itself at that period, like publicly at least. There was probably a lot of critical thinking in the smaller pockets, but not in the publicized fear-mongering.
Well, you know, you think like in the majority, like the majority movement of stuff, there's generally not critical thinking. Like that's just being part of the privilege. Like, you know, if you want to think like not critical thinking, like look at Japan and how they treat their female monarchs. Like, have you ever seen any of that kind of stuff?
Their female monarchs?
Yeah, like the princess and stuff like that.
My mana is
Just,
gone.
yeah, look it up. It's pretty sad how like group society treat her.
Yeah.
And actually, like, you know, the reality is like this. If we're just going to talk about cultural differences, like Japan in general has a very what's the word, male dominant culture. And so like the reason why I'm pointing out their shame is both groups are generally very uncomfortable with
that thing.
Yeah, like it's very easy to look at a different culture and like see their funk. And we have our funk, and rightly so. And the reality is like United States funks made it very uncomfortable. Like Japan had a market on the video game markets.
Yeah.
And the way they did the art, like, and how they utilized it was amazing.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm curious, but I don't know how to search about the Japanese stuff like correctly.
Look it up. I'll share a link.
Because I don't know what type of keywords I should type in, because a lot of it is about very.
So her name is Mako, and she decided to marry a commoner, and it is like there's crazy shame, culture shame going on in that.
Oh, okay, that's what you're talking about. Like how they have a way too much very male dominant society, very heavy on traditionalism and royalty. There we go. Yeah, I definitely understand it. Looking at it.
Guys, you can look at their, like, what was this, in 2021, like, who's this? Like, their latest, like, their gender gap index is crazy, like, how men hold more of the power positions.
Right.
Like, that kind of stuff just doesn't happen in the bubble. You know, it doesn't happen in a vacuum.
Right. Unfortunately, thinking about it, that is a very common thing around the world.
Yeah. Well, that's just a common thing.
British society, it was like, there's the monarch, of course, but there's a lot about their royalty, like propping up royalty and blood status. And then there's the Middle Eastern countries that, like, where women cannot even show their face.
Yeah. Well, like, that's actually just more of a beauty thing. If you see, there is like,
That is a cultural.
yeah, it's
thing.
like there
Yes.
is a lot of like male dominant, a lot that happens there. But like, we're just talking about hair in general. Like, hair is beautiful. Like, as,
No, I'm not talking about hair. I mean, like, they cannot show their face.
Yeah, yeah. Like that. Like that's like, that is the like, the attractive part on the female body.
Well, I don't know. I think it's still kind of crazy because I at least from what I understand, the idea is I don't want anyone to see my woman's face, so they don't take her, but she's mine. You know, so I don't know. It seems pretty horrible any way you slice it.
And putting it that way, that's
I
just
would- No, so like,
that's dehumanizing them into property.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's like one of those moments where it's really like the full like what's the word called? It's called hot. It starts with H. But the full like covering that, like, that's purely a culture thing. Like let's say
That's
like,
what we're talking about in
let's talk
general, is
about, well,
culture, like-
but there's, I don't see it like of course there is male dominant aspects and like
Which is part of the culture.
but I'll say when it comes to covering though, I don't think that is part of it.
Yeah,
When it
I
comes
mean,
to
that-
part,
that's-
It contributes to it because it's a part of the culture. And so, by doing that in the first place, it doesn't help with putting them into equal footing in the first place.
yeah, Corey. I mean, I kind of get what you're saying, but at the same time, there's
There is
there's reasons for why it's in the culture, and
Can
at
you
least
repeat
that's
that?
one of the reasons that I've like read is because they're trying to hide their women's beauty from other men. Yeah.
And I'm saying here
Well,
is
it, like,
that
for
it's
them,
like
it's
it's
what's-
not like cause and effect. It is a chicken and egg situation where it is in keeping it the same status quo in perpetuity in
But
its own way.
my argument is just because a culture has X, let's say, like, is a cultural thing where a female, like, each man who's married can have their reasons, but it's a very culture thing for a female to cover up the whole body unless she's in home among her own family. Like, that is truly a culture thing. Like when we talk about hair coverings, let's just take the Bible in general.
I'm
Talk
not
about-
talking about hair coverings.
But hair covering is part of, like, it's part of that full package, like covering the full body.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think
I'm legitimately.
I think if
confused
women
where
had the
you,
choice,
where you're pulling out the hair covering. part.
they'd probably want to not have to cover their whole bodies in a super hot place.
outside of what's already expected of them.
Yeah, I think when it comes to, like, there are some places where, like, if given the choice, they'll still do it because it's just the culture of shame. It's just like shame culture. We live.
That's
in
what
more
I'm.
of a-
That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
It's like
we,
shame culture is propagating the culture in the first place because you are ashamed, and then you will be disregarded in the first place.
I think
about it.
propagating culture, even in a guilt-based culture, still happens. Like, propagating injustice still happens in the guilt-based culture. It's not like shame-based culture and guilt-based culture is not a driving line on propagating injustices.
Where are we getting and propagating
Can we be of
injustices
help?
from?
I think is the idea that because a lady is in the shame-based culture, and because it's culture expectation, and also they have that culture expectation on them to be fully dressed, fully covered, out in public, like is thus then propagating injustice, and I'll push against that.
Okay. And I'm saying it does do that sort of things because it has the inertia behind it. In an overall way that unless the status quo is changed, the status quo will stay there because it hasn't been shifted
Yes.
at all.
Good luck.
That's why we have changes.
I think
Because they changed the status quo.
I think changing status quo goes more with culture's defining of what empathy and love of the other is. The rest, it's just smoke. It's just smoke screen.
I'm talking about the status quo of the people, not of the love, not of the care. I'm talking about of the other parts
Yeah,
that is part of the status quo.
yeah. Well, hear me out. So, like changing of the status quo, you have to change people's primal motivation for things. And to change a full group towards that requires a change in the value system. So the reason why I do that long explanation is, again, I don't think just because the status quo is a lady feels like she has to be fully covered, or social expectation is she's fully covered when she's outside the home, does not change the primal like group motivation for things.
I'm saying
think,
it is staying like that because like it is helped by the status quo, so they won't change it in the first place. They won't look for the change.
I think I was just talking about the root motivation. I think the root motivation is to basically have women as property. That's, I've only read a little bit about it, and so that's kind of all that I know. So I couldn't say for sure, but that's what
I'm
it
speaking as
seemed like after reading and just observations.
I'm speaking as someone who has talked to a lot of people in that culture.
All right.
Because I think like yeah, it's very easy to profile, like you can easily you could profile you can see the mass evils you see in the Middle East on subjugating ladies, and a lot of the horrible evils that is happening from an empire. That a lot of empire stuff happening in the Middle East, like ladies who then say, hey, I feel like I gotta have these rights, these ought rights, and then speaking out and then getting killed for it. Like that's like right there you see more of let's say the minority. Like those big evils it's a very much of a minority of like Middle Eastern, usually Muslim cultures. Like those big evils you see, that's the minority. And so because there's two different camps on Islam. My brain is tired, so I can't at this very moment say what those two branches are. But that the type of Islam where it's very much like male dominance, don't care about empathy, war is the way towards Allah, all that kind of stuff, that is a minority branch. So in this deeply charged conversation, just trying to be fair to the other camp. Just because a lady doesn't just because a lady in the family and the culture really feels like the proper practice is to be fully covered does not mean X, Y, and Z. And it can be. We're dealing with we're dealing with human conditions, it can be. And there are a lot of places where it is. But that does not mean. It's like, just because I have a lot of family who are pro-gun does not mean that they're pro-Trumps. Like, I don't want to...
Right.
I do not want to put people in those camps.
And originally we were talking about that same sort of thing, but with Japan also.
Yeah. Right.
And I was saying that I was originally saying it is not that uncommon, unfortunately.
Yeah. He was crazy.
And I was bringing up the Middle East.
Yeah.
Because they do have that sort of culture.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Do you know there's like a Portland ward? Like Portland culture, there's like a ward that's like a tourist trap. Like they sell Stumptown coffee in Japan and like in this little ward area, and they have like breweries that look just like Portland breweries.
In Japan?
In Japan, yeah.
That makes sense. There's a
Why
lot
is
of Japanese people that go
Is Portland?
to Portland.
Now I'm just confused. Why specifically Portland?
I mean,
I think it's a different enough culture where like, you know, if I go to Chinatown, I feel like I'm experiencing a different culture. You can imagine then Portland culture.
I think there's a lot of migration back and forth from Japan, Portland.
Okay, that would make sense then. It's a lot of intermingling of it, so there's a lot of influence both ways that normally would not be there.
Yeah, if you look at the map, I mean, Portland's like, if someone were to come to Japan, Portland might be one of the places they stop because it's right there on the edge. Right there.
Although I don't think that's how that works, because do airplanes go past the Pacific, or do they still take the long trip around because they can stop more often?
Well, historically, it would have been boats more than planes. There's also a lot of big Japanese culture in Hawaii too.
Corey, don't forget to hit the waypoint.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know. That's just my best guess because I was just in Hawaii and Portland. And I think I have to look up the numbers. I think there's like almost more Japanese than native Hawaiians in Hawaii now. I want to look it up right now.
That's crazy.
I wonder why. Speaking of Japan, it's quite unfortunate about North Korea, though. Apparently, there's like things about like people getting air raid sirens like somewhat consistently because of how often North Korea shoots missiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna play out because it's kind of like I don't know how that's gonna play out because I don't think China wants. I don't think China benefits from being.
Oh,
North
that's not
Korea
China.
being
That's
that
North Korea.
Yeah,
China
but
has its own issues, but North Korea has its own thing.
right. But if you, I mean, I don't even know the right word. Like the politics of the whole area. That area is owned by China. China owns everything over there, more or less. Even if you're your own country, but China's the driving force over there. And
I mean, Taiwan is actively trying to fight against China also.
they are, but Taiwan's like kind of being protected by the U.S. in a way.
And I'm saying North Korea
Korea-
isn't even
My mana is
owned
gone.
by China but I don't know about that because of the situation with it. Because I
North
do
Korea's
know
kinda like
what
allied
you mean.
with
Like they're like,
So it's kind
are
of the
they
same.
allies?
Yeah.
Or is it more like no one wants to mess with North Korea at this point?
No, they're allies. In a sense, China could have did something about North Korea if they really
Well, it's
wanted
like-
to. But kind of like Russia and China are kind of like.
Are you
allies.
more familiar with the current
Yeah, well,
events
it's like-
of things?
It's like, we made this thing where we won't, like, no one will buy oil from Russia after they invaded Ukraine, but shown that both China and India has been buying actually more gas, more oil from Russia even before the war.
Yeah.
Like more oil right now is being bought from Russia like than it was before the war.
Yeah. They're
And
fine
then there
on that
was
front.
talk about how the U.S. One of the primary reasons
That
why we're
will
not
slow me
technically in a
down.
recession is because of the Ukraine war. That's a theory, at least. I don't know if it's true or not. Probably isn't. But like, there's like specific requirements to legally count as a recession, and one of those is like GDP related. But since we can outport a
Yes.
lot of our goods, because let's be real, the U.S. is pretty much funded by our military spending. It's like most of our expenditures and stuff. We've always been in war. We've been in Iran, was it Iraq or Iran? Like, we've been on that. We've been on the war on drugs. We've been constantly in some form of war throughout my entire life. And that's just kind of how it is.
I don't think we're funded by war. I think we actually have a lot of our the money that we make exported to military companies. Kind of like
That's,
They'll
but that
pursue war.
also is
They're
how
not
we
funded.
make money.
We
is
do make a
that
lot of
export.
money like during war. Like let's say like Germany, we have like these NATO agreements where Germany will give us X amount of dollars for us to have troops there. Because we're seeing the United States has played themselves in the war. They're the biggest world power, and so you want the biggest world power with the biggest might on your land, and we charge people to have our troops on their land.
That's fair. I mean, I see
It's-
us making money. I just don't know if I don't know if it's enough to say that we are funded by war. I don't. Yeah, that's
Maybe
my
that
only
was the
negative.
wrong word, but like, we're exporting so much that it is keeping us out of the definition of recession.
Yeah, I think it's also like the whole debt game.
Yeah, that too.
So the reality is like we are debting ourselves more than we're getting in. But then a lot of the resources that keep a lot of the economy going, because if you like go into private defense contractors, like I have a friend who graduated from being an engineer, you know, and so then now he works for a defense contract where he's living a pretty like comfortable life building you know what. And so like no matter what, like since he's getting paid, you know, he's paying also like the car dealerships, and so like it does keep the economy boosted but usually like, you know,
It could
like-
be. It
yeah,
could
like
be.
how-
I honestly don't know. That's the first time that I've ever heard it put like that. I know we take a lot of the money that we do make, our GDP percentage, and it goes back into our military.
yeah.
So
Oh,
maybe
absolutely.
it's like-
When I was saying funded, I was kind of just meaning like cash flow, like we're
Okay,
funding
okay.
and being funded by it a lot.
Mhm.
It's just constantly moving.
Hey, Houston, if you want to come here, there's a special.
Oh, it was over there?
Yep.
Okay.
Is your name Justin or Houston?
Justin. He just likes to slur my name into Houston.
Okay.
I usually like to think we have a problem.
Oops. Oh, that's funny.
My mana is gone.
You're just running around him with your fire essence.
Like, I was half distracted at the same time, but yeah.
Just the build that allows you to be distracted since you're just always burning.
Yeah. All the Soviet Sergeant Foreman.
It's actually like it's a crazy circle with a lot of our politics because like take Merc Group A. Merc Group A will pretty much will pay a politician into its role, and then that politician will then give like pretty much not give but pretty much will say, hey, let's do this X amount of defense contracts with company A. Like a lot of that stuff happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like shoot, when Trump was on his final like very end of his election, he like, gosh, it's so wicked. It was like he did his presidential pardon to like people who were like once part of a Merc group but like did war crimes. Like they were on trial for war crimes, like killing civilian babies and stuff like that, and he let them go. All right, Crucible, do you want to do it?
Yep, I'm heading that way.
All right.
Ready? Okay.
All right, go ahead. I'm here. I'm maxed. I mean, I have a legendary weapon, so I actually can't do it.
So it looks like that even China's in worries about the North Korea. From looking at some potentially not maybe rootable or like just a casual glance at the news site.
Well, it's like
News articles.
if you take like Russia, like they're just sitting in truce, but North Korea, their answer will be bombs.
Yeah. Like even like they have been allies, but it is not controlled by China. North Korea isn't. They're independent. But it looks like that even because even the Chinese realize nukes will just be death to everyone.
I would say they're still controlled mostly by China because there was a time when America could have stepped in and stopped.
They like
before-
broke apart from China back in the Soviet Union. Like they were with the Soviet Union and then China, and then they broke out of that. They were
Yeah, but
still
let me
in good
finish.
terms, but they weren't controlled
So-
by it.
There was a time when America could have stepped in before North Korea had a fully functioning nuclear program.
With
because
South
honestly,
Korea?
North Korea.
No, I mean
So-
like South Korea would have been like. Are you talking about North Korea's conflicts with South Korea? Because no one took I don't think the U.S. took North Korea seriously until it started happening.
Right. But America could have stepped in before that program was finished and they had fully functioning nukes. The reason they did not, or from all the articles that I've read, the reason America really didn't step in and stop that whole thing from going down is because we didn't know how China would react.
What do you need now?
Because China's pretty allied. That's one of the reasons why, Russia
they're allies.
Russia
but
is an
not
issue, but
controlled
then
by. It's like how the U.S. isn't controlling the U.K. We push and shove a lot, but we don't control them.
okay.
I get what you're trying to say. Like they have majority vote there, like, but that's like literally the same sort of thing that we have with the NATO agreement.
I think that if you look at the wealth disparity between North Korea and China,
Yeah.
China, North Korea is its own country. There's plenty of countries that are technically their own entities, but they're kind of more or less
Puppet
owned.
nations.
or yeah, puppet nations to other countries. That's mostly what I'm saying. Is North Korea is mostly a puppet nation to China. If North Korea did something and China slapped its hand, it would stop. 100% guaranteed. But North Korea kind of acting crazy and waving the nukes around. China's okay with it because it scares America, and yeah, they're fine. Yeah, let them scare America. But I bet you North Korea will never threaten China with sending a nuke over, like that would have any chance of hitting China. They would not do that.
It'll definitely be buying the hand that feeds it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
If they did
Yeah.
anything to.
That's kind of why they're split, right? Because I think there was the North and South Korean conflict, and then like America took South Korea's side, and then China took North Korea's side, and now they're just stalemate.
If I remember right, and again, like, so pretty much it was an agreement that they'll be separated, North and South, but pretty much, and I might be wrong, I have to relook at it. Oh, my phone's going off. But pretty much North invaded South, and that's why we came in and helped and have been allies with South since.
Right. I think it was one of those, like, South was a democracy and North is a communism, so we just kind of like, we don't want a democracy lose into a communist state. I honestly could do better with that history. They didn't really teach. They didn't teach that very much in history.
Definitely.
Like we had like maybe one.
The
chapter on
American
it.
history and like global history. Oh my.
Oh no.
There's a
it's
lot
not
they
necessarily
didn't
the-
teach, at least in high school when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I learned more about the Vietnam War than the Korean War. Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I barely learned anything about the Vietnam War either. Like, I think I've learned more about it than from my grandpa and playing video games that are based around it.
Yeah, my dad was in the Vietnam War, but I didn't. I honestly didn't talk to him enough about it before when I had a chance.
I'm sorry.
No, it's alright.
All right, I love you guys. I gotta get off. Wife's getting home with
good.
daughter, and yeah, that responsibility.
You have a good time. Sorry for wasting your last 30
No,
minutes with
dude,
this.
you don't need to apologize. I enjoy the deep combos, and it's been actually been delight. So, don't apologize.
Have a good night, guys.
You too, man.
Have a good night. What about you, Royalty? What are you gonna be still?